TX3 back with another video. It's TX3 Rex, and today's vid is Dr. Stone Season 2 recap. If you like the type of our content, make sure to like and subscribe and share this with your friends. But on that note, let's start the video. So in the first episode, we see Gen telling the kids of the village what happened 3,000 years ago and how everyone turned into stone. He explains to them what Senku did when he was asleep in the stone and how he was counting time and remembering the dates. He tells them what Senku did when he woke up and how he discovered the miracle fluid. Then the camera cuts to Senku and he's already explaining what their next project is going to be. He explains to the people of the village they will need food on the battlefield, but they can't keep it hot forever, so they plan to make instant ramen, so once they put the water on it, it starts to cook. They test it out to see if the instant ramen works, and of course, it does. Everyone's enjoying their food, but once it turns night, Gen explains to Senku that he has a plan, and tells him that he could imitate Lillian Weinberg's voice, the American singer from last season, and trick Tsukusa's men and women and make them think that America is back on their feet and they can come to save them. Senku likes it and makes a task force consisting of Gen, Chrome, and Magma to go hide the phone near Tsukusa's base for later. But they have one problem. Amaru is always watching them, so if she sees the phone, she would definitely tell Tsukusa. So Senku thinks of a plan of tricking her using sound bombs and gets her attention, so the task force can go deliver the phone. So they set off the sound bombs to get Hamaru's attention, and once she goes near the explosion, Kahaku starts to chase her through the forest and tries to capture her. And that's when Senku came out of nowhere with a flash bomb and basically flashes her to the ground. He pins her down, but she realizes that she's much stronger than Senku and just gets up and starts to run away. She starts to realize that some of the villagers were missing, and realizing that Chrome, Gen, and Magma are heading to Tsukusa's base and starts to run after them. But Senku puts some powder on her feet, so she leaves a trail so they can follow her. She gets to those three and sees that they made a phone, so when she tries to take down the communication tower they put up, she realizes that it was a fake, and then Magma and Kinro cut down the tree she was on and capture her for good. The task force goes on their way and gets to the spot where they're going to put the phone at. They start to dig a hole and put the phone there. They'll make a loud noise which gets the attention of a new character, Yuko, who has insane hearing. It then cuts to Taiju and Yuzeria going to Senku's grave, and Taiju puts his hand in the ground and pulls out the phone and rings Senku. This is the first time they had a talk in about a year, and Senku tells him that he'll tell them their plan later because he doesn't have much time to explain. We then see Chrome, Magma, and Gen hiding from Yuko, who was shooting arrows. Chrome thinks of a plan to use a battery Senku gave him and light it on fire to distract Yuko, while Gen goes back to the village. Chrome lights the battery, and him and Magma distract Yuko while Gen starts to leave and head for the village. It then cuts back to Taija and Yuzeria going to the guard that's always watching over them and tells her that they need to show her something, but she doesn't agree to come with them. But after a little while, she finally agrees and goes to where the phone is. While this is happening, Gens makes it back home so he can impersonate the American singer's voice and starts to talk. She starts to talk with Gen while he's faking the voice and starts to ask him questions. After the questions, he comes to the conclusion that's not really the American singer, because that guard who was watching Taiju and Yuzeria is actually a Lillian Weinberg superfan. She could tell that was Gen on the phone. She tells him that she knows the American singer isn't alive anymore, but she will still be on Senku's side and wants to help him with his plan. Nikki, the bodyguard that I was just talking about, tells Gen that his voice isn't on par and that she'll teach him how to make it sound better, because she is a super fan after all, so she knows exactly how it sounds. It then cuts back to Chrome and Magma distracting Yuko, but while distracting Yuko, Chrome realizes something. Yuko isn't trying to kill him, he's trying to capture him so he can ask him questions about what they're doing. So Chrome lets himself get captured by Yuko, and Magma goes back to the village. Chrome is taken to where Tsukusa is, and Chrome starts to talk with Tsukusa. They put him in a jail cell, and while that's happening, Magma makes it back to the village and tells everyone what happened. And Senku makes a plan to head out and camp near Tsukusa's base. But they have too many things to carry by hand, so Senku tells everyone he's going to make a car. They all get the materials they need, and once they get all the materials, they start to make the car. And once they finished it, they covered it with this hardened paper, which is harder than a rock, to make it stronger and give it a base shape. Once they build the outer shape, the old people of the village say that they believe in Senku, and they say they will stay back at the village while they go to the battlefield. Once they camp up, they start to make ideas of how they could save Chrome. And Suki decides to go out and tries to locate where Chrome is, and she actually finds him and tells everybody where he is. They make a plan to bust in full blazing with the car and bust the sail open and save Chrome. But Tsukasa had already thought of Senku making the car, so he made big holes so where the car drives over it, it falls. Chrome saw this and thought to himself that he needs to escape by himself so Senku and the rest of the village doesn't get ambushed. So Tsukasa got a former police officer in the old world to watch guard over Chrome's cell and see if anything was going on. But while Chrome was sleeping, some mysterious man rode a battery in his cell which he used to break down the bars and escape to the camp they set up. But while this is happening, Taiju and Yuzuri are scouting people from Tsukasa's army to come to the side. But Yuko, the hearing guy, comes over and talks to the supposed American singer and realizes that's Gen. But he says it in English because he didn't want the others to hear that that was actually Gen. This kind of indicated that Yuko didn't want to be on Tsukasa's side anymore because he didn't like the fact that Tsukasa was killing so many people, but he wasn't fully on Senku's side either. Fast forward a bit and Tsukasa and Hugo are told that the cop supposedly killed himself because he was embarrassed he let Chrome escape. Spoiler alert, he didn't kill himself. So Tsukasa and Hugo go to Senku's old grave and dig a hole to put a piece of the cop's stone there. But while he was digging, he felt something and pulled out the phone. And around that time, Senku and the villagers went to reclaim the miracle fluid. They start to shoot their tank at the enemies and start to slowly take them out. They capture everyone and reclaim the miracle fluid, but suddenly Tsukasa and Hugo come out of nowhere and start to fight them. Senku, Gen, and Chrome start to make something in the cave, and when they come out, they throw this paper airplane which exploded in the air, which is like dynamite, like flying dynamite. Both parties were in a stalemate, and that's when Senku told Tsukasa that they could save his sister. Then we see this whole backstory about his sister and what happened. So Senku and Tsukasa come to a truce, and they go look for her sister near the hospital she used to be at before the world turned into stone. And sure enough, they actually find her. But some days later, Hugo tries to attack Tsukasa's little sister, which Tsukasa takes the hit, making the spear go right through his body. Senku, Tsukasa, and Hugo get washed down the river, which they have a fight, in which Senku and Tsukasa become the victors. Senku knows that Tsukasa doesn't have much time left, so he decided that he would freeze Tsukasa's body and unfreeze it and pour the miracle fluid on him once he figured out how the fluid works. And the last part of the show is that they set out to go to South America, the core of where the green thing that caused them to turn into stone appeared. And that's the end of the season. If you like this type of recap, make sure to comment down below what's like other animes I should recap and watch, so like I could make a recap video for y'all. But that's it for the video. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and TX3, we out.